The Odyssey emerged from hyperspace with a jolt that reverberated through its hull. Dr. Amelia Reyes clutched her tablet tighter, her perpetually furrowed brow deepening as she gazed out the observation window. The sight that met her eyes defied all scientific expectations. Valoria loomed before them, a jewel suspended in the void of space. Cerulean oceans swirled beneath an amethyst sky, dotted with floating islands that seemed to defy gravity itself. Amelia's analytical mind raced, trying to comprehend the physics that could allow such a phenomenon. "Welcome to Andera," chimed the melodious voice of the ship's AI. "Duration of stay, 7 standard days." Amelia turned to observe her fellow travelers, each reacting to the alien world in their own way. Isaac, the white-bearded zealot, pressed his palms against the window, his eyes burning with fervent anticipation. Major Liam Hart stood rigid, his hands trembling slightly as he gazed at the planet, no doubt replaying memories of past missions gone awry. Sophia, the artist, her fingers dancing in the air as if painting the scene before her, whispered, "It's more beautiful than I could have ever imagined." Senator Victor Hale's lips curved into a smile that didn't quite reach his eyes. "Quite the sight indeed. I wonder what other wonders this world holds." Arya and Orion, the interspecies couple, clutched each other's hands tightly, their fingers intertwining despite their differing skin tones. Arya's eyes sparkled with an intensity that seemed almost unnatural. As the Odyssey began its descent, a haunting melody filled the cabin. Amelia's scientific curiosity piqued. "What is that sound?" The ship's AI responded, "That is the song of Valoria. It is created by wind passing through the planet's crystal formations." Isaac's voice rose above the music. "It is the voice of the divine calling us to salvation." Amelia bit back a retort, reminding herself that they all had their reasons for the journey. Instead, she focused on the approaching landscape. The Temple of Serenity dominated the horizon, a colossal structure of pulsating blue crystal that seemed to breathe with a life of its own. As they disembarked, Amelia's feet touched the soil of an alien world for the first time. The air felt charged, tingling against her skin. A figure approached, its skin shimmering with sapphire hues. Amelia's breath caught in her throat as she realized this must be one of the native Valorians. The being's eyes glowed with a wisdom that seemed to span eons. "Welcome, travelers," the Valorian spoke, her voice as melodious as the planet's song. "I am Lyra, leader of the Anderans and guardian of the temple. We have long awaited your arrival." Senator Hale stepped forward, his charm on full display. "We are honored by your welcome, Lyra. I speak for all of us when I say we're eager to learn about your world and its unique properties." Lyra's gaze lingered on each of them in turn. "All will be revealed in time, Senator. But first, you must prepare yourselves. The ritual of the temple is not to be undertaken lightly." Major Hart's posture stiffened. "Ritual? We weren't briefed on any ritual." "Peace, soldier," Isaac interjected. "We have come to be cleansed. Whatever trial awaits us is but a step on the path to redemption." Amelia noticed Arya shift uncomfortably at Isaac's words, her grip on Orion's hand tightening. Lyra gestured towards a shimmering path. "If you'll follow me, I will guide you to the Garden of Contemplation. There, you will spend your first day on Andera reflecting on your journey." The group followed Lyra down the shimmering path, their surroundings becoming more surreal with each step. The air grew sweeter, filled with the scent of unknown flowers and the faint hum of life. The path led them into a vast garden, a verdant paradise filled with flora that glowed softly in the twilight. The atmosphere was serene, almost otherworldly, as if time itself had slowed down. Amelia's eyes roamed over the garden, her scientific curiosity ignited. She noted the bioluminescent plants and the curious insects that flitted about, leaving trails of light in their wake. "This place is like a dream," Sophia murmured, her hands sketching invisible lines in the air. Lyra stopped near a crystalline fountain at the garden's center. The water within glowed a soft blue, casting a soothing light on their faces. "Here, in the Garden of Contemplation, you will spend your first day," Lyra announced. "Use this time to reflect on your journey, your purpose, and the trials that lie ahead. The garden will provide you with what you need." Victor Hale, always the politician, stepped forward. Lyra, might we have some guidance on what to expect from this ritual? Our people are eager to understand and prepare. Lyra's serene smile never wavered. The ritual of the Temple of Serenity is a deeply personal experience. Each of you will face it differently, guided by your own hearts and minds. But fear not, you will not be alone. The Andarans will assist you. Amelia exchanged a glance with Major Hart. His stoic demeanor had softened slightly, the tension in his shoulders easing. Isaac, on the other hand, seemed more resolute than ever, his eyes closed in silent prayer. Arya and Orion sat together on a nearby bench, their fingers still intertwined, drawing comfort from each other's presence. As the group dispersed throughout the garden, Amelia found a quiet spot beneath a towering tree with leaves that sparkled like emeralds. She pulled out her tablet and began documenting her observations, the scientist in her unwilling to let go of her analytical nature even in this tranquil setting. Her thoughts were interrupted by a soft voice. "Dr. Reyes, may I join you?" It was Sophia, her eyes wide with wonder. Amelia nodded, and Sophia settled beside her. "This place, it's like nothing I've ever seen. Every corner of it is art." Amelia smiled. "It's certainly unique. The bioluminescence, the flora, even the air. It all suggests a highly evolved ecosystem. There's so much to learn here." Sophia leaned back, gazing at the sky where the first stars of Andara's night began to appear. "Do you ever wonder if science can explain everything? Or if there are some things meant to remain a mystery?" Amelia hesitated, considering her response. Science seeks to understand the unknown, but there will always be mysteries. Perhaps it's those mysteries that drive us to explore, to learn more. What about you, Sophia? How do you capture something as intangible as beauty? Sophia's smile was wistful. Art is about feeling. It's about capturing the essence of a moment, a place, a person. Sometimes, the most beautiful things are those we can't fully understand. Their conversation was interrupted by the arrival of Lyra. "Dr. Reyes, Sophia, the evening meal is prepared. Please, join the others." They followed Lyra to a clearing where a feast had been laid out. The food was unlike anything they had seen. Fruits that glowed softly, meats with a delicate aroma, and drinks that shimmered in their glasses. As they ate, the group began to share their thoughts and fears. Major Hart spoke of his past missions, the ones that haunted him. Isaac shared his unshakable faith and his belief that this pilgrimage was a path to salvation. Victor, ever the diplomat, discussed the potential benefits of their journey for interstellar relations. Amelia listened, absorbing their stories. She was beginning to understand that this journey was more than a scientific mission. It was a test of their beliefs, their resilience, and their capacity to embrace the unknown. As the meal ended, Lyra stood before them. "Rest now, travelers. Tomorrow, your journey into the Temple of Serenity begins. Prepare your minds and hearts, for the ritual will challenge you in ways you cannot yet imagine." With those words, Lyra departed, leaving the group to their thoughts. Amelia lay back on the soft grass, gazing at the stars. She felt a mixture of excitement and apprehension about the days to come. Valoria was a world of mysteries, and she was determined to uncover its secrets, no matter the cost. As sleep began to claim her, Amelia's last thought was of the Temple of Serenity and the ritual that awaited them. Whatever lay ahead, she knew she would face it with courage and curiosity, just as she had always done. The first light of Valoria's twin suns filtered through the garden, casting a golden hue on everything it touched. Amelia woke to the gentle sounds of the garden coming to life, the melodious chirping of unseen creatures blending harmoniously with the whisper of the wind through the trees. Lyra appeared as if summoned by their collective stirring. "Good morning, travelers. Today, you will embark on the next phase of your journey. The Temple of Serenity awaits." The group assembled near the crystalline fountain, each member preparing in their own way. Major Hart checked his equipment, Isaac offered a silent prayer, and Sophia sketched quick impressions of the garden in her notebook. Arya and Orion held each other close, their expressions a mix of determination and anxiety. As they walked the path to the temple, the landscape gradually transformed. The lush garden gave way to rocky terrain dotted with glowing crystals. The air grew cooler, and an eerie silence settled around them, broken only by the occasional distant rumble. The Temple of Serenity rose before them, an imposing structure of blue crystal that pulsed with an inner light. It looked as if it were alive, breathing in sync with the planet itself. Amelia felt a shiver run down her spine as she took in its grandeur. "Welcome to the Temple of Serenity," Lyra announced. "Each of you will undergo a personal trial within these walls. These trials are designed to challenge your deepest fears and desires. Only by confronting them can you achieve true clarity and peace." Victor Hale stepped forward, his politician's mask firmly in place. "Can you tell us more about these trials? What should we expect?" Lyra's gaze was steady. "The trials are unique to each individual. They are shaped by your own minds and experiences. No two trials are the same, and no one can face another's trial for them. Trust in yourselves and in the process." Isaac was the first to enter, his steps resolute. He was followed by Sophia, who cast a final, wistful glance at the garden. Victor and Major Hart exchanged a brief nod before stepping inside. Arya and Orion, hands still intertwined, took a deep breath and entered together. Amelia was the last to approach the entrance. Lyra placed a hand on her shoulder, stopping her. "Dr. Reyes, remember that your mind is both your greatest ally and your fiercest adversary. Trust in your strength and your curiosity." Amelia nodded, taking Lyra's words to heart. She stepped into the temple, the crystal walls closing behind her with a soft hum. The light inside was dim, casting eerie shadows that seemed to dance around her. She felt a moment of disorientation as the air grew heavy and her vision blurred. When her eyes cleared, she found herself standing in a familiar place, her childhood home. The old house was exactly as she remembered it, down to the creaky floorboards and the faded wallpaper. Confused, she took a tentative step forward. "Amelia?" A voice called out, and she turned to see her father standing in the doorway. He looked exactly as he had the last time she saw him, years ago. "What are you doing here?" "Dad?" Amelia's voice trembled. "This can't be real. You're not here." Her father smiled gently. "Sometimes, the past comes back to help us understand the present. You always pushed yourself, always searched for answers. But what are you really looking for, Amelia?" She shook her head, tears welling up. "I don't know. I thought it was knowledge, understanding. But being here, I'm not sure anymore." Her father approached, placing a comforting hand on her shoulder. "The answers you seek are within you. You have to be willing to look deep and face the truths you've been avoiding." The scene shifted abruptly, and Amelia found herself in her university lab. The sterile environment and the hum of machinery brought back a flood of memories. She saw herself, younger and full of ambition, working late into the night. "Why do you keep pushing yourself?" her younger self asked, not looking up from the microscope. "What are you trying to prove?" Amelia felt a wave of frustration. "I'm trying to make a difference, to understand the universe." "Isn't that enough?" Her younger self finally looked up, eyes filled with the same determination she remembered. "It's never been about the universe, Amelia. It's about you. What are you running from?" The question hung in the air, and Amelia felt a deep pang of realization. She had been driven by more than just curiosity. There was a fear, a need to prove herself, to escape from something she couldn't quite name. The lab faded, and she found herself in darkness, a voice echoing around her. "Only by understanding yourself can you truly understand the universe." The darkness lifted, and Amelia was back in the temple. The crystalline walls pulsed gently, and she felt a profound sense of clarity. She knew now that her journey was not just about exploration, but about understanding herself and her place in the cosmos. She exited the chamber to find the others waiting. Each of them looked changed, their expressions reflecting the weight of their experiences. Lyra stood at the entrance, her serene smile welcoming them back. "You have faced your trials and emerged stronger," Lyra said. "The next steps of your journey will build upon what you have learned here. Trust in yourselves and in each other." Amelia glanced at her companions, feeling a newfound bond with them. They had all faced their fears and emerged on the other side. As they left the temple, she felt a sense of hope and determination. Valoria held many secrets, but the greatest journey was the one within. The group made their way back to the garden, the path now familiar and comforting. Amelia knew that whatever challenges lay ahead, they would face them together, united by their shared experiences and their desire to uncover the mysteries of Valoria. The group settled back into the garden of contemplation, each member finding a sense of solace in the familiar surroundings. The evening was quiet, punctuated only by the soft chirping of Valoria's nocturnal creatures. As the stars began to twinkle in the sky, Amelia gathered her thoughts, ready to share what she had learned in the temple. Lyra mentioned that our trials would reveal something about ourselves. Amelia began, her voice steady. For me, it was about understanding my motivations and fears. I realized I've been driven not just by curiosity, but by a need to prove myself. It was a humbling experience. The others nodded in agreement, each reflecting on their own revelations. Isaac, the zealot, was the first to speak. My trial reaffirmed my faith, but it also showed me that faith is not just about belief, but about understanding and compassion. I've been so focused on the end goal that I forgot about the journey. Sophia, the artist, chimed in. I've always seen art as a way to capture beauty, but my trial made me realize that true art comes from understanding and embracing all aspects of life, even the painful ones. It's about expressing the full spectrum of human experience. Major Heart looked pensive. My trial forced me to confront my past missions and the guilt I've carried. It's something I've avoided for too long. I realized that to move forward, I need to forgive myself and find peace with my past. Victor Hale, always the diplomat, added his thoughts. For me, it was about seeing beyond the facade I've built. I've always used charm and politics to navigate life, but my trial showed me the importance of genuine connection and honesty. Arya and Orion shared a look before Arya spoke. Our trial was about trust and unity. We were faced with challenges that tested our bond, but we came out stronger. We learned that our differences are our strength, not a weakness. Lyra listened to their reflections, her eyes shining with approval. You have all grown from your experiences. The next step is to delve deeper into Valoria's mysteries. There is much more to learn, and the answers lie beneath the surface. The following day, Lyra led them to a secluded part of the garden, where a hidden entrance to an underground chamber awaited. The air grew cooler as they descended into the depths, the walls illuminated by bioluminescent crystals that cast an ethereal glow. The chamber opened up into a vast cavern, its ceiling covered in glowing stalactites. At the center stood a massive structure, resembling an ancient archive. Rows of crystalline shelves held countless scrolls and artifacts, each radiating a faint, mystical light. This is the Archive of Valoria, Lyra explained. It contains the collective knowledge of our people, including the secrets of our world and its connection to the universe. You must explore and learn, but remember, knowledge comes with responsibility. Amelia felt a surge of excitement as she approached the nearest shelf. She gently picked up a scroll, its surface cool to the touch. Unfurling it, she was greeted by intricate symbols and diagrams, unlike anything she had seen before. She knew this was a treasure trove of information, waiting to be deciphered. Victor, ever the strategist, immediately saw the potential. This archive could hold the key to technological advancements, new forms of energy, perhaps even solutions to problems back on Earth. We must approach this with both curiosity and caution. Isaac, moved by a different kind of curiosity, began to examine a series of artifacts that seemed to resonate with a spiritual energy. There's a connection here, between their technology and their spirituality. It's as if they see no distinction between the two. Sophia wandered through the archive, her eyes wide with wonder. This place is a masterpiece. Every artifact, every scroll, it's all part of a greater story. We need to understand not just the facts, but the narrative behind them. As they explored, Major Heart discovered a section dedicated to Valoria's history. There's a timeline here, events that shaped their civilization. We can learn from their successes and their mistakes. Arya and Orion, drawn to the symbols of unity and diversity, found themselves in a part of the archive dedicated to cultural exchange and interspecies relationships. It's amazing, Orion said. They've documented their interactions with other worlds, their efforts to build bridges rather than walls. Hours turned into days as the group immersed themselves in the knowledge of Valoria. Amelia found herself particularly drawn to a series of scrolls detailing the planet's unique ecosystem and its connection to the crystals that powered their world. She began to piece together a theory about how the crystals could be harnessed for sustainable energy. One evening, as they gathered to share their findings, Amelia felt a sense of camaraderie and purpose that she hadn't experienced before. They were not just scientists, artists, soldiers, or diplomats. They were explorers, united in their quest for understanding. Lyra joined them, her presence as calming as ever. "You have made great progress. The knowledge you have gained is but the beginning. The true challenge lies in applying this wisdom for the greater good." Amelia nodded, feeling the weight of responsibility settle on her shoulders. "We will. We owe it to ourselves, to Valoria, and to our own world." As they prepared for the next phase of their journey, Amelia knew that they were ready. They had faced their inner demons, uncovered ancient secrets, and forged unbreakable bonds. Whatever lay ahead, they would face it together, guided by the lessons they had learned and the strength they had gained. The days in the archive of Valoria flew by as Amelia and her companions delved deeper into the knowledge stored within. Each member of the team found their niche, contributing to the collective effort to understand and harness the information. The shared purpose drew them closer, their individual strengths complementing one another. Amelia spent countless hours studying the crystalline structures and their unique properties. She theorized that the crystals not only powered Valoria's ecosystem, but also held the potential for revolutionary advancements in energy. With Sophia's artistic interpretations and Major Hart's practical insights, they began to formulate a plan to replicate the crystal technology on Earth. One evening, as the group gathered to share their progress, Amelia presented her findings. "These crystals are unlike anything we have on Earth. They possess a self-sustaining energy source, drawing power from the planet's natural vibrations. If we can learn to harness and replicate this, it could revolutionize our approach to clean energy." Victor Hale, ever the diplomat, saw the broader implications. "This could change everything, our energy crisis, our environmental impact. But we must tread carefully. Such power could easily be misused." Isaac nodded in agreement. "We must ensure that this knowledge is used for the benefit of all, not just a select few." The Valorians have integrated their technology with their spirituality. We could learn from their holistic approach. Arya and Orion, who had been exploring the cultural aspects of Valoria, spoke up. "Their society is built on balance and respect for all life forms," Arya said. "We need to consider this balance if we're to adopt their technology." As they discussed the potential and the challenges, Lyra entered the room, her serene presence commanding their attention. "You have all made remarkable progress. But there is a final piece of the puzzle you must uncover. Follow me." Lyra led them to a secluded part of the archive, where a large, intricately carved door stood. This door leads to the Chamber of Echoes. It is where the most profound knowledge and deepest secrets of Valoria are kept. Only by facing the echoes of the past can you fully understand the present and shape the future. The door opened with a gentle push, revealing a vast chamber filled with crystalline formations that seemed to pulse with an inner light. The air was thick with a sense of history and power. As they stepped inside, the crystals began to resonate, filling the chamber with a harmonic hum. Each member of the team found themselves drawn to a particular crystal. When Amelia touched hers, a cascade of images and sensations flooded her mind. She saw visions of Valoria's past, its rise, its golden age, and the challenges it faced. She felt the planet's pain and triumphs, the wisdom of its people, and their hopes for the future. As the visions subsided, Amelia found herself filled with a profound understanding. She turned to see her companions emerging from their own experiences, each looking equally awestruck and enlightened. Lyra spoke softly. "You have now seen the true essence of Valoria. This knowledge is both a gift and a burden. Use it wisely." Back in the main chamber, the team reconvened to share their experiences. Major Hart spoke first, his voice filled with newfound determination. "I saw the Valorian struggles to maintain balance in their society. It's a lesson we need to heed. Power must always be tempered with responsibility." Sophia nodded. I felt their connection to the planet, how their art and technology are intertwined. It's beautiful and humbling. We need to approach this with the same reverence. Isaac added, their faith is not just in the divine, but in each other. Their strength comes from unity and mutual respect. We must build the same foundation. Victor Hale looked thoughtful. The Valorians faced many challenges, yet they overcame them by working together and valuing every perspective. We need to adopt this inclusive approach if we're to succeed. Amelia, feeling the weight of her own revelation, spoke last. The crystals are more than just a power source. They are a symbol of the Valorians' resilience and their harmony with nature. If we are to harness this technology, we must do so with respect for its origins and its potential impact. Lyra smiled, her eyes reflecting the glow of the crystals. You have all grown and learned much. The final step is to bring this knowledge back to your world and use it to create a better future. Remember the lessons of Valoria and strive for balance and unity. As they prepare to leave the archive of Valoria, the team felt a renewed sense of purpose. They had not only uncovered ancient secrets, but had also discovered deeper truths about themselves and their place in the universe. Returning to the surface, they were greeted by the warmth of Valoria's twin suns. The path ahead was clear, and they were ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead, united in their mission and strengthened by the knowledge and wisdom they had gained. The Odyssey awaited, ready to carry them home. As they boarded, Amelia looked back at the shimmering garden and the Temple of Serenity, feeling a profound sense of gratitude. Valoria had changed them all, and they were ready to change their world in return. The allure of the blue aliens had given them more than they had ever imagined. It had given them hope.